Hello, everyone. We're back and better than ever, as they say. We got a whole lot going on in both of these necks of the wood. I'm online with my business sponsor, my coach, my big sis, three-star director, Apostle Deborah Taylor. And we have some great conversation planned tonight, and I hope that you guys will chime in with me. If you would give us a couple of minutes administratively, would you help us to go ahead, start sharing this broadcast? Go ahead and get something that you can write with and something can write on, because I promise you, this woman of God, she has a heart full of wisdom, a lot of things to share. She's still a young lady, but she has years, decades of experience, and we need to learn some things. So I want her to share much of her story, as much as we can tonight over the next 20 to 30 minutes or so. But I need you to do us a favor. Go ahead and grab that pen, grab that paper, and let some people know where you are. They need to be a part of this broadcast. So as you're doing that, I'm going to share it one more again myself, and we're going to have some lively conversation. I hope your day has been well on this Tuesday. It's been extremely busy on my side, perhaps the same for yours. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Apostle Deborah, how are you today, darling?
I'm blessed to the Lord. How are you?
Doing quite well. And I'm trying to keep up with you, but it's hard. I think we need about 10 people to do what you do.
We'll see.
So one of the things
I got a head start on you. I'm a little bit older than you.
Oh, okay, just a little. All right. One of the things I was excited about getting you back on again, because I really wanted you to take us back to the naming of our team, which I'm honored to be a part of, which is called Team Legacy. And as I was sharing with some other friends of mine the other day, names should mean something. You shouldn't just take on any name. You know, it's really a curse word when somebody calls you out your name. They ain't got to use no cusses, but when they call you out your name, you need to know what your name is, and you ought not answer to any name folk call you. So when God gave you this thing called Team Legacy, can you kind of take us behind the scene of how that all began?
Well, let me see. I've told my story before, but I'll just tell a little bit. At the time, I was up close to 60 and I lost my job. Mm-hmm. And I was in the network marketing bit. I was at MLM, but I built teams, but I really hadn't did much because I was bivocational. Mm-hmm. So I earned six figures. I actually came from a very poor background, living in the projects, worked myself through college, got married, did all what you're supposed to do. And I ended up actually even working for the White House. I was a pastor for many, many years. I think I assistant pastored for maybe 10, and then I pastored for 18 with my husband. Mm-hmm. And so close to 28 years I was at pastoring. And then after that, I felt the release, me and my husband, to actually retire. Mm-hmm. And we know now that it was God, because my husband was actually really ill. Mm-hmm. And right after, not too long after that, he became chronically ill with kidney failure. Along with when he would preach, he would get so winded and things would be going on. And, you know, he suffered from diabetes and some other things. So we just thought, you know, he's just a winded preacher, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. And then when we moved down south, we realized that the doctor had said he was in stage 3 kidney failure. Wow. So we kind of changed our lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Both of us, and what we eat, things we do. And I had been in the travel business, but I was doing most of that, like the agency part,
okay,
the agent part. You know, I had got to the place in my life where I really wanted to enjoy life more with my children. And at the time, my granddaughter, I don't think she was pregnant then, but I was just started thinking about legacy. I started thinking about, well, I'm going to start this new adventure, going to start this new business. I started writing even more, although I had co-authored 6 books. Wow. I had started writing even more. Mm-hmm. And so as I began to journal, God began to speak to me about generations and legacy. And the being able, when it's a lot different when you getting close to the age where you got more life behind you than you do in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. You know, when you're 20, you don't even think about, you know, legacy. Right. But right. And then it gets even deeper when you when you've been challenged health wise, especially when you've been with somebody for over 40 years. Okay. So when I started the team that you're on, Team Legacy, it just was birthed in my spirit that in this dispensation of my time, and the time that I have left, that I need to help people to create generational legacy wealth for their children's children. And that was because my children, my one daughter's over 40, so when we say that, right? And my son is 40. And so I, at that time, he had just had my granddaughter as well. So she's 3. When all of this stuff was happening, there was a lot of things going on with my husband being sick. So we were kind of worried about whether he would even get to see her be born at that time. And so I started this new business that we're part of, Pay to Save Travel. And I got into it because I could relax. I felt like I could relax, and a lot of my clients at that time were looking for something better. They were better, but looking for something more economical, because a lot of times people will call you, can you give me the hookup? Right? So when I was introduced to Pay to Save, I said, okay, well, this is the hookup. It's easy. Right. At that time, we had the gift cards, and I started giving out cards. I was giving out cards in the hospital, to the doctors, to an ICU. I mean, when he go to the hospital, I'll be like, God bless you. Here's, a couple $100, whatever. And so that's kind of how I built it. But I just began to think about, and the Bible says that, a man who doesn't leave an inheritance for his children's children is worse than an infidel. Right. And I didn't want to be an infidel. Right. I didn't want to. So that's kind of how I came up with. And then the other part of that was my daughter had come to me. And when she came to me, she told me 2 things. She said, Mom, one of the things you need to do is you need to teach women, especially, how to write. So I started, I'm going to show you my book, because right. In 2 years, I released 34 authors.
Wow.
Right.
Awesome.
Right. And then she began to talk to me about how I needed to do that and impart in younger people's lives. And most of the people that was joining my team at that time was younger. I mean, they were much younger than me. And so she just thought that was funny. And then so I started doing that, and the travel. It was easy because, I mean, even her, my daughter, I call her my skeptical daughter. So when I joined travel, she was like, you should be done with that. I don't know, just get somewhere, sit down and write. Yeah. And but I actually gave her a free site, and she went on it, and she saved over $150 on her first booking. In New Orleans. Wow. And so that even made me even more think about legacy. So what I want to do is just really help men and women. I also have a ministry called Faith and Biz, where I help. It started off as kind of not between the ministry and marketplace, women's faith and biz. And then, so I had so many men reach out to me, and ministers, fivefold ministry gifts, that we changed it. My husband made me change it. I actually have a section in there called the round table, the Barack round table for men. And so we started that. We have like major conferences. The last conference we had, it was during his illness, but the last conference we had people come from 16 cities in the Caribbean. Oh wow! So it's pretty large. So we did that, and so that's just kind of how it is. I just want to be a blessing. I just want to be a blessing, sow a blessing, and teach people how to leave and create wealth for their children. Because my parents wasn't able to do that for me. I buried my father. My mother and my father both got saved. through me. You know, they were not church attenders. My father didn't really leave he didn't, I ended up having to pay for his funeral. He didn't really leave anything. And so that, and I buried my brothers, I paid for that. So those kind of things made me just begin to think, I don't want to leave my kids in debt, but I also need to teach people how not to leave their children's children in debt. Nobody should be in debt in this day and time unless they choose to. That's what I believe.
Wow. You bring up so many things. Let me just ask you this. Over the past couple of years that I've been connected with you, I've been honored to see so many things, but I know you have a heart. You're very close with people all across the country, around the world, for what it is that God has done. I know that you've had some very close people in the past 18 months, 2 months, somewhere in that neighborhood that have passed, what we might even refer to as maybe even sometimes the prime of their life, unexpectedly. Like, we all know we're leaving, but it's like, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Can you kind of relate that in respect to people today who tend to always think, and you did mention that the young people, they don't think a certain way, but whether middle-aged, we tend to think we're invincible, and we tend to think that we all have so much more time, and we tend to procrastinate and put off our dreams, put off the vision, put off the things that we have passions about. Can you kind of relate that into your perspective about how fragile life is and how you just don't know when God's going to call your name? Can you put that in perspective for us?
Exactly. So with the experience with my husband, as well as one of my best friends who was an author in this first book, she sat down. I talked to her in the afternoon one day. We were on our way. I think we were on our way home from Texas. And by the time we got from the airport to almost my house, I got a call from her daughter, and she sat down and she passed. She sat out on the couch. It was coming from the doctor. Doctor said she was perfectly fine and she was gone. And we were the same age. And it just gave me a perspective. I mean, I've had a lot of things happen over the years, but that was real. That was just a couple of years ago. And that was really deep for me. And really undergirding and understanding that you're not going to be here for a lifetime, and you need to live. And I used to always, her name was Avis. And me and Avis used to always talk about living. She was actually a part of this team. And me and her always talked about leaving a legacy. She also sold insurance. So she did leave her children pretty well off through the insurance, but she never fulfilled her dreams. And so my goal in life is really to help people to fulfill their dreams, especially as Christians. Especially as Christians. I believe that God gives us provision for vision. He gives us provision for vision. He does not have to bless anything that he didn't tell us to do. Right. And so one of the things that I saw as I began to move around and see entrepreneurs, because this thing for me, although I love travel and I love pay to save, and I know we're going to talk about it, but this thing was so much bigger for me and created entrepreneurs. And one thing I know, travel ain't going nowhere. Right. It's an $8 trillion industry. It's been around, it's going to be around, till Jesus come back. It's just, that's just the way it is. I mean, did you see this past weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Potions, lotions, motions, teas, whatever. Right. They all come and go. I remember when Noni juice was, I remember Noni juice. Is it still? I don't even know if it's still around. Right? But it was everywhere, right? It was everywhere, right? And so, I often tell people to think about that, but people are gonna come, people are gonna go. And at this point in my life, I just want to make sure that I can give people the opportunity to be the best, what I call faithpreneur that they can be. If you love the Lord and the Lord love you, like you say, then you ought to be able to walk in the prosperity in which he has given. And I'm not a prosperity preacher per se, but I believe that we should not. Poverty is a mentality.
Yeah.
Because I lived in the project. I ate ketchup sandwiches and sugar and butter sandwiches, and we had to eat cornbread and milk for dinner. So see, I understand. I understand sleeping in the bed with my other 4 brothers and sisters and all of us in one bed and my mama on the couch. So can't nobody talk to me about poverty, huh? But I also understand that when I got saved at 26, you straight from the street and was an atheist, God supernaturally changed my life and he rebuilt it to the place that I am now. And and I'm very blessed. You know, I could say that every Friday through through Pay to Save Travel, I get paid, as well as, you know, God has blessed us. And it wasn't, when we were pastors, we never took a salary. So you can't say it was the church people they took all the church people money. No, we were the biggest tithers in our church. Right. To the point that our apostle told us one time, you know, you can't pastor yourself. So I mean, I have learned, and out of that restructuring of my life, I'm actually getting ready to release a course. I developed this book. It's a handbook and it's a workbook for faithpreneurs.
I love it.
And so it came out of my own pain. It came out of my own stuff, like making sure that you know who's encamped around you. It has scripture nuggets and how you journal through all of that to get on the other side. Because if you're going to walk in this entrepreneurial journey and create generational legacy wealth, you got to change your mindset. And Romans 12 said, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, and you got to renew your mind. And what I found is that a lot of people want to make a lot of money, but their mindset, right? They feel like they can drop everything and still do what you're told to do. But the Bible says faith without works is dead. So if you ain't working, right? The Bible said, man don't work, man don't eat. That's right. That's right. So even though my husband, even when I went through all that with my husband, I kept saying, because at that time I wasn't working. I did not have a source of income because the company that I had left, I just left it. I left the income there. I did not agree with some things, and so I left. And so I left all of that, and I found myself for the first time depending totally on my husband. Well. when you made 6 figures, that as a woman, right? Yeah. So I said, we need to get down. Yeah. I understand. Things are a little bit different. Yes. You know, things are a little bit different, and you know, it changes the game and how you live. You know, so we left our home. We sold both of our homes and we moved south, and we moved into a mortgage-free home, but we had to remodel it that my husband had inherited. But we did that because our cost of living is like nothing. You know, nothing. And sometimes what I would say to people is sometimes you gotta make transition. You gotta not be afraid to make the transitions that are necessary for you to walk this thing out in faith. I love and that's what I teach, and I teach Team Legacy is that I want them to walk by faith. I mean, we all go through things. We're a praying team. Right. We help each other. A lot of us are ministers on our team, and Christians on our team, and even inside of this company, right? When I went through the worst time of my life, right, and I left the business, I left my money, and I lost my job, and then I was doing well in travel, and I left that, and then I did all of that, and then God dropped me dead smack in the Pay to Save, and they were able to walk through the journey of my husband's illness with me. Right. The CEO did, and his wife. And so they were very instrumental in helping me to get to the other side of that. Even Idella speaking life into my husband and saying that he would get a kidney, and he got one in like 6 weeks after she spoke that. Yes. You know it's the Lord. It's just the Lord. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that it is the Lord. Todd Strand and Mike Oliver and David. I remember when God went into surgery, they were praying for me. Come on now, y'all.
You don't find it everywhere. You don't find it everywhere.
And the top money are gonna pray for me. So ain't nothing nobody could tell me about them brothers. Nothing.
Right. Got it. I love it. Let me ask you this before we go into some of the things directly connected with income, because if you're watching this broadcast, whether on the replay, we have Miss Melanie Bird there. Good to see you, Miss Melanie, representing all the way in the Sunshine State and beyond. Of course, we're going to go to the income, and I want us to spend ample time there. But before we go there, because there are so many believers, I want you to deal with this for believers, even those of us who call ourselves spiritual leaders of believers. We often lack the spirituality bridge with the practicality of what I've heard you talk about already as far as it relates to legacy. I mean, we preaching, we teaching, we, hooping and hollering. I mean, we doing all this type of stuff for generations, but so much is lacking as it relates to legacy. How many notable persons in ministry, die, and literally churches and family members have to struggle to put stuff together just to bury them properly, so forth and so on. And that's at the lead. So, if it's at the lead, it's in the rest of the house as well. Can you tell us again, what are some of the things you would instruct us to do, as we say back home, to keep it real? Because we're missing it. The church shouldn't be in lack. The church shouldn't be following the world. The world should be following us. What is it that we're doing wrong? What is it that we're missing from your perspective?
Well, I think that one of the things that I can say about my pastor, my apostle, that I've been with him almost 20 years, is very progressive. And that's Apostle H. Daniel Wilson out of Oak Forest. And one of the things he taught us was the principles of the 7 mountains and the understanding of the marketplace. So even when he created his record company, right, Kingdom Records, and I watched him create his film company, Kingdom Productions, and I watched him do books, and he had Kingdom Publications, and this was 20 years ago, right? And so he always taught us that there is a practical side to the marketplace in ministry, and that so he always taught us that. And I think that is one of the things we're lacking in the church. We're lacking people actually teaching the responsibility of entrepreneurship in ministry. We teach them the Bible. We may disciple them. We have Bible studies, but we don't have a Bible study for entrepreneurs. I watched H. Daniel, and I always we call him H. Daniel, but Apostle Wilson. I watched him actually have special Bible studies and different things for marketplace ministers, and setting them in offices, and consecrate and ordaining them as set offices as a marketplace minister. So when the Lord said it was time to step out, I never doubted it. I never doubted it. Even though I talked with him, but I never doubted it, because at the end of my pulpit service, and most of my members would say I was a great pastor, me and my husband. They still love us. They want us to start a Facebook church.
Right.
And I was blessed. And we were blessed to be able to that they're helping, and most of them are helping another ministry. But I think that's it. I think that we have to teach children younger. I just became the national director for a group called Envision, Learn and Grow, EOG. And the reason that it brought me out of kind of retirement as far as serving on boards, because it's a national advisory board, but it brought me out of retirement because what they're doing is they're teaching young women at 4th grade all the way, and they're 5. It's only 3 years old, and they're going to follow them all the way through college, and teaching them entrepreneurship. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
That is absolutely amazing. And then they get to do presentations. They go to an entrepreneurial camp. They get to do presentations amongst Fortune 500 women in corporations. I mean, that's the stuff we need to be doing. We need to be teaching our children how to create wealth and have different types of businesses that they can create wealth in. One of our members on our team, she started a project called 5012, taking 12 children, middle school children, to 50 states, between middle school and high school. She will take them to all 50 states.
Wow.
So we're going to undergird that. We're going to underwrite that. You understand? One of my visions is I used to do when I was a travel agent, I used to do this thing called From the Hood to the Woods.
Okay.
And I would take children, because I was a city girl. So, we would take groups of children and get homes, take them camping, take them to the woods, do different things. And when they would arrive, they would be like, their eyes would be like, oh, right. And be able to expose them. We need to expose our children to something other than shouting, dancing, and saying hallelujah. Wow.
You have helped us already. You're preaching good. And it's so important, and that vast exposure of your experience, of course, with Apostle Daniel, H. Daniel Wilson, and others like him that have been in that, as you say, for more than 2 decades. The vast majority of the body seem that we're missing that, and all we know is an evening. Well, we don't even do evening program, a chicken dinner, or a fundraiser, or this. When God has given us the power, as He said, to create wealth.
Yes, I remember way back, maybe about 15 years ago, they had an event for entrepreneurs and marketplace ministers inside of the valley, and I remember them giving the check to the church. This was not their tithes or anything, for like over $100,000 or more. I mean, it was like a huge check just from the entrepreneurs inside of the church. So what if you pray for them? What if you strengthen them? What if you patronize them? If you have those in the church, or find out what especially children want to do. And one of the things that ELG is doing is actually finding out what the kids want to do. And then they're partnering with colleges to create scholarships. So by the time they get to college, they can put them in college.
Yes.
Right. And get a full ride.
I love it. So they never. I love it. So they never have to keep their hand out, asking people to help them, because they have been empowered to help themselves and reach back and help others.
Because they've been helped. And this group actually only functions in Title I schools, which is Title I schools are the most impoverished in the most impoverished areas, so they get more money. Right. You know what I'm saying? But they're dealing with we're selecting young women out of those schools to do this. It's a very powerful thing, but I think churches should do that. I think that, like I'm teaching my granddaughter, she's 25. I'm teaching my granddaughter, she's an entrepreneur, right? She made so much money during the COVID-19, Lord Jesus. One day after 1 week, she made about $1,400. Her bank account looking, as she said, my bank account looking fat. I could be like my grandma. That's what she said. She's 25. She said, my bank account is fat. And so her and her grandpa kind of share a bank account. And he went in there. He's like, that girl ain't kidding. Her bank account is fat. Right? But she's an entrepreneur. So when one thing failed, she worked for FedEx. She started doing some other businesses. And then she found some other things. And she just, she do some of everything. But she has, right? And she loves to travel. She was the only one in the family that you just couldn't keep down. So she called her a plane. She done been somewhere. She's planning to go somewhere next month. She don't, she young, she 25, so she don't get it yet.
My Lord. Well, Apostle, let's go into this space. And one of the things I love you're an advocate of entrepreneurship as a whole, but your passion and your heart is in travel, as is mine. So we know that entrepreneurship is much greater than just travel.
Mm-hmm.
Travel is huge now.
It's huge.
We can't sleep on it.
Yep.
I want you to tell for the audience watching and those who will watch this even on a replay, shout out to my godson, Mario. We got First Lady Tanya's in the house, Lady Kareem up in New York. She's one of your direct team members.
Director.
Amen.
New York.
And then we got Miss Melanie Bird, and we got Minister Dalton, who just became a director today. Yes. So God's doing things. We're excited about it. Yes. So let's talk about this travel space as it relates to someone being able to use it to make their dreams come true and to leave that legacy that you've been talking about all this time. Keeping in mind, maybe they are engaged in other businesses, and you're not against that. You definitely don't hear us saying, you can't do anything else if you're doing travel, because we have many people on our teams who have come with other businesses or parts of other businesses, whether it's traditional, direct sales, they might be realtors, they might be all kinds of stuff. But why does travel, in your opinion anyway, complement pretty much anything that you got going on? And why would you recommend this for anybody who wants to up their game on leaving a legacy?
Well, I started this when I was pastoring, and a Christian businessman who was a millionaire actually told me, if you love to do it, he knew I was gonna lose my job before I did. And he said, if you love to do it, Pastor, you ought to own it. Then he said to me, one of the things that you need to do he was pretty much talking about the Black church. And he said, because he was Caucasian, he said, what your people do is meet people's needs instead of teaching them how to meet their own. And that stuck with me. And he began to mentor me. So I became a part of travel because I was traveling all the time. We were, at that time, Shekinah Glory praises what I do. I know they think William McDowell did it, but Shekinah Glory did it first. And so they were huge, and we were traveling, and we were going here and going there. Apostle was traveling live. He was a part, and so we were just traveling a lot. The praise team was traveling, and so someone suggested that I get into the business. So I started it while I was in ministry to bring money back into the church. Because we were spending think about how much the church, I would love to be the travel person for the Church of God in Christ. My Lord. Church.
My Lord.
Come on now. Do you know how much money
Millions
is spent?
Millions.
Millions. Right? And so we spent a lot of money going here and there and everywhere. But he showed me how to bring that money back into the ministry to be able, and missionaries with missions and everything, and being able to bring that money back and full circle, and then being able to sow into your own ministry. Right. To be able to bring that money back. Your congregation is small, but how many of them travel?
Quite a few.
So that was the first thing. So when Paid to Save, when I joined Paid to Save, and the other travel companies I was in, you had to be a travel agent. A lot of people don't want to be travel agents, right? Or they had other companies and they were part of a travel club, but you had to kind of jump through hoops in order to really get from what I'm finding, because people are coming over here. What I'm finding, they had to jump through hoops in order to even get their vacation. Right. And so when I would Pay to Save, you actually could be a customer. You can actually be a travel agent through our one of our subsidiary companies, partner companies. You can actually be a marketing strategist. I'm gonna say a marketing strategist like me and you. That's right. Hallelujah. Hey. Nothing but evangelist.
That's right. Yes.
Right? Telling the good news. That's right. What I say. They say, they say, because I didn't even think I was a leader. I tell people I'm not your typical network marketer. I am an evangelist of the marketplace.
All right. There you go. I love it.
Right.
Right.
So that's what I love about this. Whatever option you decide to take, you can take that and you don't lose any money.
Right.
And people say, how is that? And how do they make money? I remember at first people used to say, how do they make money in your company? I say, do I care? All I know is I get paid every Friday. All I know is they pay on time. All I know is that they've been a blessing to me and a whole lot of other people in 42 countries.
Right.
I don't question what David Hart do. It's his company.
Right.
And I've been in other companies where I did not get paid. I've been in other companies where after a couple of years they was be gone. After, you know what I'm saying? Or there were people that was up here that were eating, and the people down here wasn't eating.
Absolutely.
We created a comp plan in our company where if you want to eat, you can eat.
That's right.
But if you choose not to eat, if you choose to just travel, you're going to still eat because you're going to save a lot of money. You have access to the shopping and dining and restaurants and all of that. So you have all of that in one package, right? And then you have the opportunity to make money, right? So how can you lose? I don't know. I can't speak for other travel companies, and I study them. I mean, I look at when people contact, because they contact me all the time. Somebody just contacted me from a travel company, and from other companies. I mean, everything from selling tea to selling jewelry to selling oatmeal, whatever. They contact me all the time. Once you become a leader in here, then everybody wants you. Right. When I was, nobody trying to tell everybody. Right? About somebody, right? They didn't want me.
That's right.
And so I say that to say that's why I get excited about this business. We have grown. I mean, through this whole virus thing, we still grown over 5,000 people. Yeah. Oh my God. That is absolutely amazing. You know, we've never missed a check. Right. We never missed a check. I mean, never. And then I just got the opportunity to actually go look. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to get me a new car for my birthday next month or do I want a nice Christmas present. I don't know. You know, I'm just going to take my time because this will be the second car that I've gotten since I've been in Paid to Save. Wow. My first car I got in like maybe 5 weeks. With my first set of residuals, I had made enough money to put a down payment on a new car. So I have a nice blue Rogue. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not in no hurry, but I thank God for the opportunity to be, because I didn't see that. You know, all I wanted to do when I came in this business is to be able to make an extra $1,500 a month to match my nice Social Security check that started last year at the end of last year. I ain't been getting it that long. And so I made a plan that if I could get to that in about 2 years, I would be good. Right. But I definitely surpassed that. Yes. As my husband. Yes. And I thank God. I thank God for this team. I thank God for the tenacity. I thank God we really haven't had any falling away. But I know that people, we get free vacation. So all of our money is doubling, and people are going to walk away whether I tell people, whether you travel mid-year, next year, the end of the year, or whenever, that vacation is still waiting on you. Waiting on you. I got over $6,000 in travel, what I call travel, that I can go anywhere, and my husband, we can go anywhere we want. Man. And you know, I would have been there, used them up. Right, that's right. So I'm just chilling. I'm just waiting. Okay. Right? I already got a plan to go to condo. I got my stuff here, sitting here. All right, there you go. I'm gonna teach people how to disinfect the condo. How how to go in and dust, right? I go in and take care. I'm gonna teach people how to do the pandemic travel, social distancing travel, because people are gonna go.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we might as well teach them how, and you might as well get, if you listening to us and you're guests, you might as well get a free vacation out of it, right? Why spend $2,000-$3,000 when you know this summer some of y'all is gonna have, as one of my business partners would say to me, have your hips in the street.
Hey, they're gonna be there.
They're gonna be there. Yeah. Right? My birthday is June, and Deborah gonna be sitting somewhere. So y'all might as well, if I have to put on my mat, whatever, but I'm gonna be sitting somewhere, and it won't be in my house.
Come on.
It ain't gonna be in my house. Now, one of the things that I think is wisdom, and that I love about Pay to Save, is that we have over 2,000 resorts in different cities and different countries. But one of the things, we have a good flow of resorts in the United States.
That's right.
I believe that the United States should open like China did, and you can travel between, in the United States, but maybe not immediately go over into another country. Right. I think that's going to happen. We're going to be able to travel domestically. And my goal is to teach people how to do that and do that safe.
I love it.
Because it can be done. And no sense of you laying up. I mean, people was all on the beach. One of my friends just came back from Myrtle Beach. One of our business partners went to Myrtle Beach for a day and was so pretty. She went back took one of her dreamcations and went back.
Wow, it is gorgeous.
So I mean, people. I know you. Like I tell people, you may not be traveling. There's people that's going to go somewhere, right? They're going to travel, so why not be blessed by it? And you can bless your family in any way you want. But I love what I do. I love the people that I work with. We all like a family.
Yes.
Like your wife. Your wife is amazing. She's an amazing travel agent. She took the travel agent piece and took it to a whole nother level. Took her friends to Greece.
Right.
Book cruises. I mean, that's a whole stream of income for First Lady.
Right.
You understand? Right. Yep. And then you're the marketer. So you got to figure out it. And then as couples, I want to say this: if you're a couple out there, as couples, we're both couples in business. We're in the same business. We're couples.
Yes.
Me and my husband used to teach a class for couples in business. I was telling him we may need to go back, and pick that up and start doing that. But we used to teach that. How do you, as a couple, work through a business?
Yes.
Not kill each other.
Come on now. That's important.
What do you say? Sanctified or filled with the Holy Ghost?
Yeah. We don't want to lose nobody overboard on the ship.
On the ship, right? How do you do that? And you got to think about what if like so many pastors really, honestly, truly need that 8 days or 7 nights. I love the way that you do. I love the way that you're able to take vacation time away, and even if it's a couple of hours away, and still get back to your ministry, but you're able to utilize Pay to Save to do that. That is a blessing. Can you imagine if we could teach ministers to do that? Do you know how many pastors are stressed out? That's over, because right now this is Pastor Appreciation Week that my apostle has released, and because one of the conversations we had was how many pastors are stressed out from the virus. How many people in your church have passed away? What kind of grief? You can't even give them a proper burial. Or you can't, if it's not them, maybe it's their cousin, them, or somebody, that you can't, sow it into their life properly. Or how do you prepare your church to come back?
Right.
How do you do that? And so our pastors need prayer in order to get to the place of doing that, and they need a vacation.
Right.
I've met pastors, Pastor Mel, that have not. I met one pastor who joined our business. He hadn't taken a vacation or a honeymoon and had been married 13 years.
I remember you telling me that. Been to a lot of workshops and conferences and all that type of stuff, and thought that was it.
And thought that was it. Never even took his wife or kids on a vacation.
That's not legacy.
That show ain't legacy, and that show how you can hate to have your children hate the church.
You got that right. and tell your marriage.
And your marriage. You better believe it, right? Lord. And it wasn't no old preacher either. Wasn't no old preacher now.
Help us.
He had a good woman, and so I'm just saying that we need to create a way, and do some things even inside of ministry, even inside of being able your community to introduce the children to something different. And I believe that as soon as this is over, I'm going to start offering free travel agent certifications that they just buy the platform. I'm going to be doing that as well. I used to do that at the library, right? To start your own, like people offered free taxes or whatever. Able to help people to start their own travel agency if they want to, or to get involved and introduce people to taking your kids, spending time. If you're a single mother, being able to. We saved a single mother. She used to use all of her. She's part of us, but she used to use all of her income tax money, like $7,000 to go to Florida every year. And when she joined Pay to Save, she was able to get a 3-bedroom condo for $189 for a whole week.
Right.
And then she took the Universal Studios exam and got VIP status. And before she couldn't afford to even only go to one park. Right. This time she was able to afford to go to 3 parks.
Yes.
3. And at VIP status. That means she didn't have to wait in line.
Yeah. It's a whole lot different when you got your credentials.
It's a whole lot different. And so and do you know how excited she was able to take her mother, her family, even her dogs?
I love it. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to give us some closing comments of how somebody can connect with you, and I'll give them my information on the end, but how can they connect with you in everything that you've been saying? Building a legacy, learning more about that area of work, and becoming a part of Team Legacy.
Well, one, you can inbox me. I have several different Facebook pages, but Deborah Taylor is actually on the wall, so you can inbox me. Then he put my phone number up, 888-584-9058, extension 102 or 101 or 103. With 102 would get me anywhere that I am in. So right now I'm not traveling, but they say anywhere in the world, that number right. And so and I have a website. My website is www.faith biz.com, and then I have different sections on there. So if you need coaching, I'm a spiritual life and business coach as well. So if you need coaching, I'm actually getting ready to. We're going to be hosting a virtual conference called Women Take Flight. And so you'll get information about that. We usually do that here in Memphis with the women in our business, but we're going to actually do it virtually. So we'll be getting some information about that. So you can go to my website and you'll find some of that information. There's a travel section. There's a section for my books, the books we were talking. I'm actually developing an online class for faithpreneurs. That will be done virtually as well. I'm working with my publisher right now to do volume 3, tying the knot between the ministry and marketplace. So we'll be putting stuff out there about that. But at the end of the day, if you want to join Pay to Save, you need to just call us, reach out to Pastor Mel or anyone on our team who has shared this video with you. I'm telling you, and right now they just released a brand new video that you saw it too? I saw it too. I was like, oh, this is good, right? I didn't hit about 25 people up already.
Yeah.
When I saw it.
We're going to make room. I'm going to have you finish up. we can make room for them to see it. We're going to do that right after your comment.
It's a very good video. I have to give a salute out to the corporate team. I love this video, but it was amazing. So you can actually join our business right now for free for a limited time, and get yourself in position to start and work with me, Pastor Mel, or any of us on our team to be able. And one of the things we do, we work together in order to help you not only to learn business skills, but you got to make yourself available too. You know, you got to be open and coachable and teachable and trainable, and we can help you to do what we do. I mean, I started this business. I was not at the top. You know, what I love about this company is so wide open for growth, especially in the US. It's just wide open. So just get with one of us and you will definitely be blessed. And do you know the boom is coming? Don't miss it. Boom!
The boom is coming soon.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Coming soon, and create your own stimulus travel package. I tell people every day, you got to create your own stimulus vacation package, because when it comes, y'all, my pastor, his name is Ricky Floyd. My pastor told me, he said, I know I ain't gonna see you till next year. You been, he already know. But I'm like, thank God for Giveify. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cash out the church, or pay the tithe, or pay my love offering, right? He said, I already know I ain't gonna see you the next to 2021.
Yeah.
He's about right too.
That's about right.
Yeah.
So let's do this. I'm gonna share my screen for the benefit of our audience watching, whether you're live with us. Shout out to all of our live friends, family, connections that are watching live with us, and those who are going to be watching the replay. But I want you to see what she just mentioned. We just released from the corporate a brand new video. I think I have it pulled up. So I'm going to share my screen and let me make sure I get it right. Bear with me. And Pastor, when I do it, I need you to verify for me that it's showing properly. So let's see if I can get this in just one moment. Set this up properly. And can you see the screen now?
Yeah.
All right. And are we removed from the screen? How are we looking on our side?
We're on the side.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to hit this thing, go.
¿Has soñado con ganar dinero desde casa?
I don't think we want that one. Hold on. I was jamming with my Spanish.
It comes in Spanish, it comes in English, and it comes in French.
Yes, give me just one moment. I'm going to come back to you. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. I'm going to come back and I'm going to put on the English. Give me just 1 minute to do that. Need to pull it up. Don't want to mess y'all up.
So what would you say as you're looking for that? What would you say as to why you and Kendra chose travel? What would you say? Why do you continue?
Right. Well, one of the things is we had owned so many timeshares. We actually had 4, and we know how much we had put into those things. Our last one, in fact, we were paying as much as $379 a month for our latest one. And then we discovered that Pay to Save had that same location as one of the destinations. And I've been there several times, twice last year, paid $59 for the whole week instead of paying $379 on a mortgage. So go figure. You don't have to be that smart to know that Pay to Save offers us a whole bit of an opportunity. I think I have it. Let me pull it up. Give me just one moment. I'm just checking to make sure this one is it, I believe.
Have you ever
Yeah, that's it. Okay, give me just one. I'm going to go back, pull it up because you guys have to see this. Share my screen. Here we go. Apostle, can you see it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, here we go.
Of making money from home? The entrepreneurial revolution was well underway even before the most recent events that have caused over 1 billion people around the world to Google, how do I make money from home? People all across the globe are tired of working a job that barely pays the bills and for a company that doesn't pay them at all when they can't come into work. Today, people want to take back control, allowing them to build a business where the money comes in month after month, irrespective of their day-to-day efforts. But not all home businesses are created equal. So what would your dream business look like? Would it be a turnkey business where practically everything is done for you? Would you be able to get that business started with no money? That's right, $0 and 0 cents. Would you be able to run your business with virtually no monthly overhead? Would it be an online business that could be built from any place in the world through social media? How about a business where you don't have to sell, ship, or manage any products? Would you want a business where almost everyone loved the product you offered and you had it for the lowest price around? Would you want a business that's fun and exciting? Would you want a business that is the single largest industry in the world? And if you found yourself answering yes, the business you're looking for is the travel business. The travel industry is the single largest industry in the world for a reason. Most everybody loves to travel. And the great thing about our business is you can make money even when people aren't traveling, because our membership allows people to earn points toward future travel. Our membership specializes in showing people how to travel for less, how to travel for free, and with our partnership program, you can even get paid to travel. Our program is completely unique and is designed to save consumers up to 70% when they travel. We invite you to partner with us. You can make an income doing what you love, allowing you to turn passion into profit and adventure into a way of life. And the best part is you can get started for free. Take action now.
Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would tell you this. If that has been of interest to you, along with the powerful testimony, Apostle Deborah Taylor has shared her heart. You're very well acquainted with my message that complements hers. It's a thing that, it's a thing that I think has come to fruition, has come full circle. If you don't know by now you know. It's time for us to get free. And that freedom involves not just having lifestyles that are not bogged down with debt, but also the time to devote our lives to the things that we care the most about. Not just our calling, our passion, our vision as it relates to the things that God has given us to do, but also the time that we need to be investing in our own family, in our own households. If you don't know, now you do. I would encourage you to reach out to her, reach out to me. We'll be glad, or one of the team members that's sharing this broadcast with you, and we'll get you where we know for a fact you'll want to go. All together, we're on the one team, Team Legacy, Team Joshua Generation, and we are claiming God's promises together right here, right now. God bless you, Apostle. We'll see you on the other side. I love you.
All right. God bless you. Bye-bye.